Hello guys, this is Anime What If Media, and today we're gonna be doing Naruto What If. Now, this What If, Naruto's great grandfather is gonna be Tobirama. Now, Naruto, everything in the past happens the same until the scroll ceilings. Now, Issei mastered the shadow clones easy as faster, so he decided to do another jutsu. Now, this jutsu, what he was doing, was called the Edo Tensei. Now, it said he reads it and all that, and he decides it said corpse and shadow clones are technically, basically, a copy of the clone. So he decides to use a shadow clone for this. Which I thought, let's just make that happen because it's my what if. I'm God in this what if, so let me do my thing. Issei decides to use the Edo Tensei, and unconsciously, some of his blood happens to touch the shadow clone because he has a little bit of Tobirama's gene. So when he does this, the clone just knocks out because Tobirama is still he hasn't fully summoned him yet. There's a coffin, but it hasn't opened yet. So now Mitsuki and Aruka comes there. Aruka comes first. He's like, "What are you doing?" And Naruto says the same shebang. When it comes to Naruto summoning that much shadow clones, Mitsuki got hurt, but he wasn't hurt to the extent that he happened. And Mitsuki decided to use a fire jutsu, but then the Edo Tensei of Tobirama, after he does that jutsu, Edo Tensei reversal, so he could stay in the human world without going to the pure realm, as they call it, and still be he's technically a mortal walking zombie. And he's like, yeah, water dragon jutsu, nah, you ain't gonna attack this child. He basically defeats him. That water dragon had so much pressure knocked him out. Now Hiruzen in the ambu. Now Hiruzen sees this in his orb, and he sees the Edo Tensei of Tobirama, and he's like, I knew Naruto was doing the Edo Tensei, but I didn't think that his own blood was summoned. His own great grandfather. Now, this is a conundrum. So he decides to be like, alright. Alright, so the Ambu Hiruzen walks up to the scene, and Hiruzen decides to talk to the Edo Tensei Tobirama for some time, and Naruto's wondering, is he in trouble? What happened? And Iruka says, nah, you ain't in trouble. You're getting a headband for doing one of the coolest, one of the most difficult chakra-consuming jutsus, the shadow clones. My man, you created over 1,000. That's an impressive feat. Here's your headband. Now, Naruto's alright, I can become a ninja. So during the time, so the third Hokage has decided, if I announce that the second Hokage's return, but immortal, it'll send all the enemies into shock that they don't want to attack Konoha. Because he wants to make sure that Konoha is alright. So he decides to tell the council this and makes this a public announcement. Now, Tobirama was wondering, do I have any family left in this world? And Sarutobi says yes. You have a great it's a great grandson. Great grandson. Nerd, the blonde kid that you saw, that was him. And also there's Tsunade, your your grandniece. And he decides like, and Tobirama says, "Can I see him or like at least train him while I'm still here and teach him all the jutsus I know?" Now I'm gonna be changing Naruto's affinity. It's gonna be water, alright? I want him to be like a cooler version. He's gonna be a mix between Tobirama and Hashirama. So he's gonna have a goofy, nice side, but also gonna have like that serious, no nonsense side to him. So when hears and thinks about it, he's like, "This will be epic. We're gonna have another Tobirama in our hands." So he's like, "This is gonna be epic. The council can't do anything about it. This is gonna make Naruto strong, and the councils won't be in his butt." So he's like, "Yes, like, all right." And then Tobirama and Naruto meet. Well, they meet. Tobirama says, "What is this excuse of ninja clothing are you wearing?" Like, he's going off of his orange clothing. And Naruto's like not having it. He says, "That's the only clothes I could buy. Do you really think that I could buy any other clothes? Clothing is expensive, my guy." And everybody just stares at him like, "Are you sure? How much that cost?" And he's like, "Gigi, remember when you gave me that allowance and I finished it in one day?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "That's how much it cost. The person said that that's how much cost this clothing were." And he says the rest of them are more expensive than that. And here's when we're starting to think. Not only did they sabotage this poor child's education, they cheat him in stores. Like, this is unacceptable. Like, my God, this is unacceptable. So, here's when Tobirama and Naruto decide to go to a ninja shop where he won't get discriminated. It's called the Dragon's Lair. This is where Tenten and his father works. Now, you say, no, I'm not. Sorry. Now, Naruto, he's like wondering, why is Lord Second and like the third Hokage like helping me, like, seriously? Because he understands the third Hokage helping him, but like not to this much of extent. But the second Hokage is like a mystery to him. So while they go to the Higurashi's store, Tobirama decides to get Naruto his clothes because he's like, "Nah, I don't care what you're gonna say. I'm making sure you don't have anything that's like a disgrace." So he finds a black Ambu pants with black shoes. Basically, he's gonna wear the similar outfit that he has under the armor, but instead of a black shirt, it's gonna be like a dark navy blue color. And he's changing his forehead protector into that same frame that he has, and he's like, "Seriously, it feels like you're turning." And Naruto's mind, it feels like he's turning me into the second version of him, because he has the fur thing over his thing too. And he told Saratobi to tell him everything he needs to know about his parents, his lineage, because I ain't gonna talk. Like, he's like no nonsense mode. Like, this kid needs to know. It will help him. It will give him more motivation than the opposite. So Hiruzen decides to tell Naruto everything. At first, when Naruto's hearing this, he's sad and angry, like, seriously, I trusted you and you did not tell me who my parents were, like, seriously. Then he comes to understanding when Tobirama puts it in his understanding, and he's like, oh, okay, alright, I understand. So now, Naruto knew who his parents were, and he knows that he's related to the second Hokage. Now, the second Hokage says, I'm going to be training you from now on. And Naruto just looks at the second Hokage like, huh? Like, he's going to be training with the second Hokage. A Hokage. Like, he's like, oh fuck, I'm going to become OP. Sorry, I had to take a water break. But anyways, he and Tobirama were going to Senju compound, which hasn't been open, like haven't been lived in for ages. It's not dusty because they probably got some Genny to clean it before they came there. So he went to the Senju compound. They went to the armory to get basically his own version of his own armor. He decides you can make it any color other than orange. And he decides to think of a color. He's thinking and thinking. And he thinks of making it, what's it called? He decided to make it, since he can't make it orange, he decides to make it blue. Because he would probably just want to cop. He's thinking that his great-grandfather will probably want that. And Tobirama is thinking like, he better pick blue or I'm going to make it blue. Because he wants a mini version of him. So they're technically like, so he basically puts on blue armor just like Tobirama's, and they decide to train. They train in Tobirama's taijutsu style. It's called the Flash Fist. Because you know that he created the Flying Raijin. So he decided to teach him the Flash Fist because he's assigned to teach him the Flying Raijin with the Yondaim's basically material. So material of his version too, so it could be faster. So basically, he's teaching the Flash Fist, and they check his chakra nature, and he sees his water like a really strong water affinity, just like Tobirama's. So first things first, before he does anything with jutsus related, he teaches him better chakra control, like walking up the tree, which he does in 2 days. And he does water walking as well, which he gets the same day, but mostly it took them the whole day to figure that out. Now there's a few more days until team's announcements. And Tobirama finally decides for him to do water elemental manipulation, and he tells him about the shadow clone training exercise. And Naruto like, whoa, that's cool. So he decides like, yep, he's doing water manipulation with a leaf. And the first step is making the leaf damp. And that takes probably like half until one of them actually did something. And he dispels them 2 groups at a time. And after that, he decides to do it himself, and it works. And then it's making a whirlpool, so, in the water. Which he's doing right now while he's training with taijutsu with Tobirama. While he's learning kenjutsu from Tobirama. Now, Tobirama teaches Naruto a technique, which some of you guys might know this technique from a different anime. It's called Shunpo, Flash Step. So basically you channel chakra to 1 feet. This is his version, 1 feet. And imagine the destination where you concentrate to the destination where you go and just move anywhere like that fast. So he teaches Naruto that whilst teaching him some kenjutsu styles. While teaching him some water jutsu since he finally got down the first step. He teaches him the wall jutsu and the water bullet jutsu. Now when it came to the second thing, it took him around 2 days. There's only 1 more day left until he has to go back to the academy. Now, Naruto is finally finished with the second step. So he learns some jutsu, like the water person jutsu, the water dragon jutsu, and twin water dragon jutsu. Now for the last step. This is what Tobirama made. Try to make water from thin air. Like from the air, the oxygen from around them, the water and the water particles in the air and plants to make water, which takes like a long time. So now he is back in the academy. He looks like Lord Second, but his hair is like a silverish yellow. So that's the only difference in this anime. And he doesn't have whisker cheeks, he just has the red marks that Tobirama has. So he just walks in class. Everyone's staring at him like, what happened to the orange jumpsuit? Like, this dude. And they think of Lord Second, they look at Naruto. Like, they know that he always had red marks, just like Lord Second. And his hair is like silverish blonde, which Lord Second has like silver hair. They're like, wait, is he related to Lord Second? And everyone just stares at him like, like they're just staring at him. And he sits down away from like in the back corner, like he's minding his own business. He's not trying to cause attention because he knows better, because Tobirama teach them manners and everything, and saying that this type of attention is bad, better stop or this will happen. And Tobirama's a strict teacher, so he's like, yep, I'm not trying to get on Tobirama Gigi's bad side. So he's like, nah, I'm gonna behave. Yep, I'm not gonna get in trouble. So he's just waiting for class to start. So when Aruka comes in, he smiles at the class and tells them blah blah blah. Alright, so the teams are Team 7. Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Haruno, and Naruto Uzumaki Senju. Everybody like goes wide-eyed when they hear this, and Naruto just stares with a stoic face. He's impassive when he hears this. Everyone's staring at Naruto. Then Aruka continues on. Teammate, Hinata Hyuga, Shino Aburame, Kiba Inuzuka. Then Team 9's already in circulation. Team 10, Shikamaru Nara, Ino Yamanaka, and Choji Akamichi. Now the senseis comes in. Asuma comes there and picks up his team. Kurenai takes her team. Then Tobirama forced Kakashi like, yo, you coming here on time. You ain't gonna be late. So Tobirama and Kakashi come there and they tell him to meet in the roof. Naruto just wall walks because he's like, yeah, I'm not trying to be late, so I'm gonna wall walk instead of walking the stairs. They just stare at him like, is he crazy? He's what? So they get up to the roof. They see Naruto there like, huh? Like what? But anyways, when it comes to introductions, Sakura says, how about you go give us your introduction? And Tobirama says, listen to your superior and introduce yourself. He already gave you an example, like your likes and dislikes in your name. So go do this. And Sakura's like, oh, okay, Lord Second. And she says, my name is Sakura Haruno. My likes are, she stares at Sasuke. My dream for a future is stares at Sasuke. And my dislikes are Pig. And she won't say Naruto because she's scared if she says Naruto, Tobirama's gonna go ballistic on him because she could already see the resemblance in between them. She's like, yep, I'm not trying to get on his bad side, so she's gonna keep that to herself. And Tobirama's just staring at this girl like, oh, this is gonna take so long to teach this person. And it was Sasuke's turn. He says, my name is Sasuke Uchiha. I don't have many likes. I have lots of dislikes. My dream, no, it's my ambition. My ambition is to kill a certain man and rebuild my clan. Which Tobirama just raised her eyebrow at this. So does Naruto. And Kakashi in his head is like, he's still up for revenge. And Naruto introduces himself. My name is Naruto Uzumaki Senju. My likes are training, eating ramen, and Tobirama GG, and Lord Third. My dislikes are traitors, rapists, and perverts. Because that's immoral. I'm trying to make Naruto normal, so those are normal people's dislikes. So my hobbies are basically training and eating ramen. My dream is to become a future Hokage. And his sounds more normal than everyone else's because theirs just weird. Sakura's is just fangirlish. Sasuke's were just emo, and his is actually normal. Now it's time for the belt tests. Tobirama is just watching because this would have been really hard if he was there. So basically, Tobirama is just watching while they do the belt test. When he says ready, set, go, they all disappear. Naruto makes clones to reach Sakura and Sasuke to tell them his plan. Sasuke was reluctant to agree, but he decides, yeah, Naruto's spitting true facts, so he's like, yep, I had to work with this kid, work with Naruto, and he seems to change a lot, so he might not be the loser that he is. And Sakura's like, and he does this clone dispels, and when the Naruto clone gets this information, so does Naruto, and he just tells Sasuke agreed with this, and she's like, alright, I will go with you. And they regroup. They make out a strategy, and they decide to do a similar strategy that when Team Minato was back in the day, when he took down Minato to get the belt. They do the same strategy, and they get the bells. And Kakashi's like, huh? How do you know the same strategy that I came up with back in my day? Like what? And Tobirama is just surprised. Like, all of them look like they would never work with each other, but somehow they work together to get the belt. And Naruto gave the bells to Sasuke and Sakura and was like, yeah, you guys could get the bells. I'll just wait for another year. And Sakura's like, nah, you should get my belt because you did more of the work. I was just being useless, which is gonna change in the future. Yes, this what if there's not gonna be a useless Sakura. But anyways, I meant Naruto. Sorry for me getting to mix up with the names right now. And Sasuke's like, yeah, you came up with the plan, you should get the bell instead. And Kakashi just smiles, and Tobirama's like, they did the bell test and actually worked together and did self-sacrifice. And like, this is probably gonna be the best team that Konoha will ever have. Well, that's it for today, and see you guys later. Stay frosty.